Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 6.
The coldest air in 16 years is heading our way this weekend. A rare extreme cold watch in effect Saturday night into Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I'll show you how low temperatures go coming up.
Dead batteries, low tire pressure, frozen windshields. This weekend's hard freeze could take a toll on your car. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez, the mistakes that drivers keep making and how you can avoid doing that.
An Olympic gold medalist known for her super speeds on the track is now the latest to be arrested under the new super speeder law. I'm Mark Lehman. How fast deputies say she was going on a busy local highway.
Plus, breaking overnight, a last-minute deal in D.C. to avoid a government shutdown. This morning, why the fight over Homeland Security, though, is not over.
Wow, we've got a lot to talk about, and you see the sign behind us, Extreme Cold Watch. That's going to be topping a lot of our news. It is Friday at 6 o'clock, friends. I'm Lauren Melendez.
I'm Justin Warmoth, and we do want to get right to the weather this morning. A hard freeze expected to coat Central Florida this weekend. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan is in for Candace, breaking everything down.
Yeah, that's right. So we are tracking a cold front that's going to be heading to Central Florida early Saturday morning, and we're going to see a number of things out of it. First, we're going to see some scattered showers, and then colder air moving in behind that front, and there's a possibility for isolated snow flurries. Again, we're not looking at a widespread snow event, but some flurries are certainly possible as that colder air moves in. It is going to get very windy on Saturday. We're talking about winds between 15 to 25 out of the northwest, gusts between 30 to 40 with those stronger wind gusts along our coastline. So if you have anything that can get blown around, make sure it's secured properly. So scattered showers, we are looking at the coverage between 20 to 30%. We talked about snow flurries, but the real story is the cold air. We'll be in record territory Sunday morning with those wake-up temperatures in the 20s for everyone across Central Florida. And of course, when you factor in those strong winds, that's going to put our wind chill temperatures in the single digits and teens. So if you're going to head out early Sunday morning like myself, make sure you are bundling up. Staying warm and layers are a great idea because we're not going to warm up much through our Sunday afternoon. There's our cold front out to the west. That's going to slide our way Saturday, but as of right now, if you are getting ready about to head out the door, here are your wake-up temperatures: 32 in Wildwood, 47 in Orlando, 57 in Melbourne, and then we get into the 70s this afternoon. So we'll talk more about the cold weather coming up in my full forecast, but now it's time to check on those roads. Here's Justin.
All right, Michelle, we appreciate it, even though the forecast is not ideal. All right, drive times looking good. 6:02 in the morning, and we are still in the green, so some good news there. The turnpike in the southbound direction from 27 to I-4, just a 17-minute drive. I-4 westbound from the 417 in the Sanford area to downtown Orlando, State Road 50 Colonial. That's just a 15-minute drive. And then I-75 northbound from the turnpike to State Road 40, just about 19 minutes. And we are following some breaking news. A statewide alert is out for a missing teen in Brevard County. Take a look here. That is 16-year-old Hyatt Saylor. He was last seen in the area of Travel Lane. That's off Stadium Parkway near Vieira. At the time, he was wearing a white hoodie, dark pants, and carrying a dark backpack. If you have seen him or if you have any information about this, you're asked to call the sheriff's office.
Well, she is known for her speed on the track, but this morning it is another kind of speed that has this Olympic gold medalist in some deep trouble.
Yeah, we're talking about Sha'Carri Richardson. She was booked into the Orange County jail after police say they caught her driving more than 100 miles an hour, and her arrest just the latest under Florida's new super speeder law. News 6's Mark Lehman following this story. He is live for us this morning. And what do we know about how this all played out, Mark?
Well, this was part of a traffic detail from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Happened here behind me along State Road 429 near Stony Brook West Parkway. Deputies say Richardson was driving dangerously and way too fast. That traffic stop ending with her arrest. Richardson has since bonded out of jail, and right now we're working to find out more about her next court date. Meanwhile, we're also learning that she has had problems, legal problems in the past, just within this last year. And we're going through that for my next report coming up at 6:30. For now, reporting live in Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
All right, Mark, we appreciate it. New this morning, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood says an investigation is underway after a threat was made against a judge.
But that happened just hours after Chitwood had criticized that same judge on social media. So let me tell you how it started. It was yesterday with this post by Chitwood announcing the rearrest of former police officer Amber Williams on new drug charges. The post, though, also included criticism of Judge Randall Rowe for releasing her shortly after her first arrest. And then in a new post last night, Chitwood says he was informed someone made a death threat against that judge, Judge Rowe, something he did say was unacceptable. He also vowed whomever made that threat would be held accountable.
Happening today, a former Brevard County deputy who fatally shot his roommate is expected to learn his fate. Andrew Lawson pleaded guilty to manslaughter for the death of Austin Walsh, who was also a deputy. Lawson said the two were playing video games back in 2022 when he fired the gun as a joke, not realizing it was loaded. In an emotional plea hearing earlier this month, Lawson showed remorse. He also apologized to Walsh's family. That sentencing is expected to take place at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We will be in court and let you know what happens.
Also happening today in Brevard County, a memorial is being held for two family members who were killed in a house fire in Palm Bay. The deadly fire happened nearly 2 weeks ago on Janice Road. We know 75-year-old Cheryl Vandermott and 10-year-old Noah Boss. They were both trapped inside. Today's memorial service, that'll be held at Covenant Church. Then Sunday, there's going to be a special bike ride, two of them, in fact. The first, 10 a.m. at Fred Lee Park. The second bike ride is at 2 p.m.
As we have been warning you for days now, Central Florida is bracing for some of the coldest temperatures we have seen in years this weekend.
I can't believe in 16 years, which is nuts. When Michelle said that, wow. Okay, it's not just your pets, your plants, your pipes either that need to be protected. Experts say so does your car, or you could find yourself literally stranded. So News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez joins us live. Steph, look, you and I know a thing or two about freezing temperatures in cars, having lived in the Midwest, so you are truly the expert for this.
Well, I am because I lived it. I'm not because I don't like filling air in tires. It's one of the things I hate the most, but it's so crucial. It's one of the things you'll probably have to do if you wake up this morning or the next coming days. And I'm the expert on dealing with cold, but not how to help your car manage it. So we went to a local mechanic shop to get some helpful reminders. So we heard him mention that if you have frost on your windshield, do not run the wipers and the windshield fluid because it'll just get all frozen up. So you want to make sure you get everything off first. But if you don't have an ice scraper, I have a tip for you here. You can grab a credit card or any plastic edged card that you might have to get it all off. This is water, so it's a little easier, but it is a good makeshift scraper if you don't have one on you. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Stephanie, I don't have one. So credit card we'll have to do. We'll have to do, no doubt. All right, Stephanie, we appreciate great information there for this unprecedented event.
Yeah,
record cold. Well, 6:11 now, a warning to watch out for cold-stunned turtles during this weekend's frigid temperatures.
Okay, coming up, how rescue crews are working overtime to save them. Plus, a failed jailbreak attempt lands a man behind bars. You're going to want to see this unbelievable attempt to free Luigi Mangione ahead of his trial. Michelle.
And today will be a nice and mild day across the region, getting into the upper 60s and lower 70s. But we have some cold air heading our way. An extreme cold watch issued Saturday night into Sunday afternoon for all of Central Florida for dangerous wind chills. Of course, we'll talk about it coming up.
As we head to break, here's a look at your drive times.
I was involved in a car accident, called attorney Dan Newland. His team was outstanding. At the end of my case, Dan got me $800,000.
Involved in a car accident? Call me at 407-888-8000.
Let's face it, you want something to believe in again. A team you can trust to provide you with something that's real. You want journalists who are courageous and obsessed with getting it right, guided by one mission: to be authentic, clear, and honest. You want someone to give you something to believe.
The Melania Trump movie.
Here we go again.
The first reviews are in. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on News 6.
All right, this morning, a Minnesota man is in custody after police say he tried to break high-profile inmate Luigi Mangione out of a New York jail. This is quite the story. Police say Mark Anderson showed up at a federal detention center in Brooklyn claiming he was an FBI agent. He had a court order, he said, to release Mangione. But when officers asked for his credentials, investigators say Get this, he handed over a Minnesota driver's license. They searched his bag, and then they found a barbecue-style fork and a pizza cutter. Authorities say it's still unclear whether Anderson has any real connection to Mangione, who has pleaded not guilty to murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The case is still expected to go to trial in September.
Seminole County's move away from the Lynx bus service is creating a new problem. There are dozens of empty bus stops still sitting across the county and a growing price tag to remove them. Right now, crews are taking some of them down, but across Seminole County, dozens of abandoned stops still there. County leaders and Lynx agree the stops, the shelters, the trash cans, the signage all need to go. The question is, who's going to pay for it? A letter shared with the county shows removal costs could reach 6 figures. And at the same time, commissioners are also weighing future funding changes tied to the new Scout on-demand ride system.
We've all anticipated this happening, and so let's just cut to the quick and let staff talk to Lynx and figure out, well, we're going to work well in the sandbox, or we're going to cut the line.
Lynx says the letter sent to the county is only an estimate. It's not a bill. County leaders say they're now asking Lynx for more clarification as both sides continue talks over exit costs. Well, freezing temperatures don't just impact the people. They're putting sea turtles in danger along our coast.
Makes you think about all the other people and parts of our ecosystem, right? So that's why Volusia County rescuers are asking everyone stay alert for cold sun turtles, especially during this weekend's hard freeze. So at the Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet, rescuers are already climbing, or rescues, I should say. They have taken in several turtles just in the past week. They say many are stressed by the cold on top of injuries or illness. Rescuers also say January through April, it is their busiest season. They average about 75 and 150 turtle rehabilitations. We're talking colder water, rougher surf, freezing air. All of that can push vulnerable turtles into shock even faster. So these crews, again, they're asking all of us to keep watch.
Anywhere along the beach and in the intercoastal as well. So it's important to be vigilant, you know, if you're out boating or if you live along a marina or a dock, to keep an eye out for these turtles. They may appear lifeless, but they are often still with us and alive, and they do need care.
Look at those little guys. Hey, if you see a turtle that looks cold stunned or distressed, don't touch it. Even if you're not sure, go ahead and call FWC so that a trained rescue team can respond.
They have enough to deal with, and now we're going to factor in this extreme cold. I hope that those turtles can bear it.
Yeah.
And I know that they're going to be ready. The rescuers will be ready to respond if needed.
Yeah.
But
make their jobs easier, especially because we got a lot going on. Speaking of, Michelle, just download us on how intense this is going to be in the next couple hours.
Yeah, we'll be heading into a deep freeze. Lauren, I mean, we haven't seen this type of cold in about 16 years. We have an extreme cold watch that has been issued, and the last time we saw that was 15 years ago. So this is very rare for this to happen. So get ready. It's been cold for the past couple of mornings, but the real cold is heading our way Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we do have dangerous cold on the way because of that setup. It's a weather alert day Saturday night, Sunday morning, and also Monday morning, where many of us will remain below freezing for several hours. So it's all because of a cold front that will be moving through. We're looking at showers early Saturday morning between 30 to 40%. It's going to get windy. We could see gusts between 30 to 40 miles per hour across the region. Frigid air will move in behind that frontal boundary, and snow flurries are in the forecast. So some areas could see some flurries as we go through our Saturday night. So the possibility is there. And then as we wake up Sunday morning, record cold lows possible in the lower 20s. And then we are looking at a hard freeze for all of us here across the region. And it's going to stay cold all day Sunday with highs in the 40s. So there's our weather system off to the west. You can see draped over parts of southeast Louisiana. This cold front is going to sweep through as we go through our Saturday morning. We're still under the influence of an area of high pressure, but that's going to continue to head eastward. Temperatures are chilly. We're starting off at 36 degrees in the villages. Good morning. 31 in Ocala, 36 in Palm Coast, 47 in Orlando, Melbourne at 50, and Titusville at 49. Official sunrise today is 7:14. So here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
Temperatures will warm up nicely. We certainly deserve it. We're at 57 around 10, 64 around lunch, and then lower 70s this afternoon in Orlando. For the rest of Central Florida, a high of 70 in Claremont, 68 in Daytona Beach, and 71 in Melbourne. So let's go ahead and talk about your clouds and rain forecast. Today is fine. We're looking at those clouds continuing to increase as we go through the evening hours heading into tonight. And then a cold front moves through early Saturday morning. Notice I stopped the clock here. Scattered scattered showers across the region will continue through majority of your Saturday morning as that front moves through. Now, when that front exits the area, colder air will move in very fast. We'll still continue to see that moisture moving from the Gulf, and we could see some snow flurries here, mainly west of the I-4 corridor. So out to the west, parts of Sumter, Lake, even Polk counties could see some isolated flurries. That'll continue on and off through the 9 o'clock hour, and then everything dries out as we head into your Sunday morning, and then that colder air continuing to move in. So here's how cold it's going to get. Extreme cold watch issued Saturday night into Sunday afternoon. I popped up the wind chill temperatures here Sunday morning again because it's going to be windy. Feeling like 9 degrees in the Villages, 10 in Ocala, 13 in Sanford, 17 in Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach, and 12 in Daytona Beach. And the reason why this is issued here because dangerously cold wind chills could get into the single digits. Now, a freeze watch in effect as well. This is the air temperatures, what we'll be waking up to. 24 in Kissimmee, 23 in Sanford, and 23 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. So I'll leave you here with your 7-day forecast. 71 today, 58 tomorrow, waking up in the 20s Sunday and Monday, and back in the 70s on Wednesday. Time now is 6:22. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Orlando Health. Watch Jana Manohalal, your News 6 East Orange County community correspondent. No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
A cat fashion show? Sign us up.
That's it.
626 now. A growing number of dead birds raising some big-time concern in Central Florida parks.
Still ahead, what visitors need to know before they head out. Mark?
An Olympic gold medalist arrested here in Orange County under Florida's new super speeder law. Coming up, how fast deputies say she was going on this busy highway.
And the coldest air in 16 years is heading to Central Florida this weekend. A rare extreme cold watch where we could see dangerous wind chills in the single digits. Of course, we'll talk more about it coming up in my full forecast.
Watch Jarrell Baker, your News 6 Orange County community correspondent. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back here. It is Friday. It's 6:30.
Let's get a check of our top stories, and it's a little milder out there this morning, but this weekend, you know it, we know it. We are bracing for the coldest air we have seen in years. We're talking temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the single digits on Sunday. Michelle will have another full update on the forecast in moments.
Olympic gold medalist Sha'Carri Richardson is now out of jail. She's on bond after being arrested for violating Florida's super speeder law. Deputies say they caught her going 104 miles per hour on the 429. This is while she was also tailgating other drivers.
And Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood says an investigation is underway after a death threat was made against a judge. That threat came just hours after Chitwood criticized the judge on Facebook for releasing a former police officer arrested on drug charges.
But we do have to get back to our big story, a rare extreme cold. Those 3 words in order. Not good, guys. We want to make sure you are prepared this weekend because it will be dangerously chilly, not just regular chilly.
Yeah, and if you like the warmer mornings, this is about as warm as we're going to be for
Didn't know how to put
a little bit of time. Let's get a check.
Not regular chilly. This is real stuff here.
Real chilly, downright cold. Michelle Morgan is in for Candace.
Yes, exactly. So this is very unusual, very rare. The last time we saw cold temperatures like this, which will be heading our way this weekend, was 16 years. So get ready for it. But for now, it is a chilly start to our morning. Begin to see a little bit of sunlight. Official sunrise is a little after 7, but a gorgeous shot out in Kissimmee Lakefront, starting off at 44. Orlando still dark at 47, and Daytona Beach coming in at 44 degrees. So let's talk about the cold real quick so you know what to prepare for. Saturday, cold front moves in. Scattered showers possible early between 30 to 40%, and it is going to get windy. Frigid air will follow that front, and then snow flurries are possible as that colder air moves in. Still, we'll be dealing with that moisture off the Gulf. That'll be isolated. Now, Sunday, record cold lows starting off in the lower 20s for many of us across Central Florida. A rare hard freeze is expected for everyone, and then highs staying cold in the 40s. So as you take a look at your morning forecast here, many of us are starting off in the 30s and 40s, but this morning forecast featuring Louise from Ocala, and she's all bundled up as she should be, where temperatures will be in the lower 50s by 9, and then we'll be in the 60s 60s by 11, and then temperatures then climbing into the 70s this afternoon before that cold air moves in this weekend. So just make sure that you are preparing for the cold. But of course, the cold doesn't last too long. We're back in the 70s next week. So we'll talk more about that coming up. And now it's time to check on those roads. Here's Justin.
Louise has the right idea, Michelle. We appreciate it. Here's a look at your drive times this morning. Still in the green, 6:32 in the morning. The 408 in the westbound direction from the 417 to I-4 in the green, just a 7-minute drive. I-4 eastbound, Osceola Parkway in the Kissimmee area to downtown Orlando, State Road 50, just an 18-minute drive. And then the Turnpike northbound from I-4 to I-75, also in the green at just about a 39-minute drive. Of course, we'll keep you posted throughout the morning.
Well, another arrest under the state's new super speeder law.
This time, the driver in handcuffs is an Olympic gold medalist. Talking about 25-year-old Sha'Carri Richardson. She was going more than 100 miles an hour on the 429. Now, under the super speeder law, drivers can be sent straight to jail for going that fast. News 6's Mark Lehman joining us now live. He is on this story this morning, and a lot of people talking about this arrest, Mark.
Yeah, this is making national headlines, and it's the highest profile arrest since the super speeder law went into effect about 7 months ago. It happened here behind me along the 429 yesterday, with deputies saying Richardson was driving dangerously and put other drivers in danger. Now, Richardson issued a public apology after that incident. Following yesterday's arrest, she bonded out of jail and so far has not commented about what happened. For now, reporting live in Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
All right, Mark, thank you for that report. Hey, this morning, deputies say a deadly shooting in Orange County was all about a fight over loud music, and now the suspect is locked up. 32-year-old Michael Thrasher was arrested Wednesday. He's accused of shooting 38-year-old Arnold Rapatalo. This was last week at an apartment complex off Moselle Avenue near Old Cheney Highway. Investigators say surveillance video shows Thrasher walking up to Rapatalo's door to confront him about that noise. Here's the thing. When Rapatalo opened the door, deputies say they got in an argument, and then things got physical. That's when deputies added Thrasher pulled out a gun, fired it, and killed Rapatalo.
We're going to use him for life with that situation. That is not a situation. That's just somebody walking around trying to be tough.
So we know Thrasher is facing several charges. He's being held on no bond.
Happening today, a former Marion County deputy is set to learn her fate after admitting to robbing a bank. Christina Thagard is scheduled to be sentenced at 10 a.m. in federal court. Prosecutors say the 40-year-old robbed the TD Bank in Ocala back in May. Police say she passed a note to a teller demanding at least $50,000. She was arrested just minutes later during a traffic stop on Southwest College Road. She could face up to 20 years in federal prison.
Well, a quick thinking 911 call. It is being honored with a life-saving award for his part in rescuing an 11-year-old boy from a registered sex offender.
There's a child pedophile with 2 kids in his truck. One's a runaway.
Where are you at, sir?
He's coming down US 1. His name's Darnell.
Now, that call came New Year's Eve after Cody Clark says he spotted 60-year-old Darnell Hairston, a registered sex offender, driving with 2 kids inside of his truck. Clark says he recognized Hairston from neighborhood notifications and even followed him while deputies rushed in. Inside the truck, they found an 11-year-old boy who'd been missing for 3 days. Also, a 15-year-old who took that truck and ran off with it, leading deputies on a chase before crashing.
I waited until they got there, and if they, like I said, if y'all ain't gonna come, I'll pull him over, and it ain't gonna be pretty.
Well, the sheriff says that young boy rescued told deputies he believed he was going to die. Both Hairston and the 15-year-old, they're in jail. Meantime, that teen is actually being charged as an adult.
Concerns are growing about the spread of bird flu in Central Florida. First in Orange County with the swans at Lake Eola. Now alerts in Seminole and Volusia counties after dozens of dead birds were found at local parks. News 6's Troy Campbell went to Blue Springs State Park, where state wildlife workers say more than 100 vultures have died. 6:41 now, a World War II hero turns 101 and celebrates in the most magical way possible.
Coming up, the special moments at Disney World that made his celebration extraordinary.
First, though, the Artemis II rocket is on the pad, but a critical countdown test could be pushed back. Why NASA's wet dress rehearsal could be delayed. Michelle.
And it is a chilly start to our morning across the region, but check out your highs today. Not bad, upper 60s and lower 70s, but we are looking at dangerous cold heading our way as we head into the weekend. Of course, I'll show you how cold it gets coming up.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health. Watch Mark Lehman, your News 6 Seminole County community correspondent.
Three, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Breaking overnight, another Starlink satellite launch lights up the Space Coast. 29 more satellites are now in orbit after the Falcon 9 rocket lifted off just after 2:20 this morning. Meantime, this is a live look at the Kennedy Space Center, where the rocket set to take astronauts on the Artemis 2 mission to the moon is sitting on the pad. Here's the thing, though. There are some big questions on whether a critical test this weekend will go on as planned. NASA was planning what's known as a wet dress rehearsal as early as tomorrow, where crews would fill the rocket with fuel and then simulate a countdown. But CBS News space reporter Bill Harwood reported overnight that may now be delayed by about 48 hours, all because of the extreme cold heading our way this weekend. So far, NASA hasn't said anything about the plans. We will let you know as soon as we get any updates.
And happening today, more people in Brevard County, they are expected to speak about Blue Origin's plan to continue dumping wastewater all along our coast. In fact, 2 months ago, the company sought to renew a permit with the state to send hundreds of thousands of gallons of treated rocket wastewater into a retention pond that would be at its North Merritt Island campus, and it would be every day. The problem is, when it rains, that pond overflows, and that water, they say, could end up in the Indian River Lagoon. So this concerns neighbors who are worried about the impact on lagoon and local wildlife.
What are they doing to ensure that they don't, destroy the lagoon and the water and all the animals that live inside it?
So tonight's public meeting starts at 4 p.m. at the University of Florida Extension Office. That's on Lake Drive. All right, in Orange County, if you need a big ticket item, but you don't want to pay big ticket sticker price for it, who doesn't, right? You'll be in luck. Orange County is holding its semi-annual surplus auction, which means everything from construction equipment like dump trucks and concrete mixers, even to fire hoses, they're up for grabs. County has raised $8 to $9 million since they started this auction.
And that's something that is a direct benefit to taxpayers, and we want to get as much out of all this stuff as we can for the taxpayers.
Well, we've got a link to the items up for auction right now on clickorlando.com.
A World War II hero got to celebrate a milestone birthday in true Disney style. 101-year-old Herb Manilovic took part in a special flag retreat ceremony at Magic Kingdom. So he served as a private in the U.S. Army's 106th Infantry Division during the Battle of the Bulge. He was later wounded and awarded the Purple Heart. His day included a trip down Main Street, USA with family and a front row view of the Festival of Fantasy Parade.
It's a wish that's better than any wish I've ever had.
Disney then recognized Herb as part of its traditional sunset flag ceremony, a daily tribute to veterans and service members.
It's incredible.
What a special birthday. We all wish you, Mr. Herb, a really happy birthday. 101 years old. You cannot tell, though.
No, you can't.
No, he is young.
Age is truly just a number. And I love that Disney's for everybody.
It is.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah. That's awesome stuff. All right, we do have to talk about the weather. It's on top of everyone's mind, Michelle. I mean, when you mention the word snow or snow flurries, kind of grabs some attention.
It does. It really doesn't roll off the tongue there, Justin. We don't really talk about snow here in Central Florida, and the chance is there. So let's go ahead and talk about the next weather maker. As we head into Saturday night and Sunday morning and also Monday morning, those are weather alerts days because of the cold air that will be moving in, all thanks to a cold front. So Saturday, this cold front is going to bring some very windy conditions out of the northwest between 15 to 25. We could see gusts between 30 to 40. Those higher wind gusts confined along our coastal zones or coastal communities. Scattered showers are in the forecast early Saturday between 20, 30, even 40%. Light showers again, and we're looking at, again, some heavy rain in a few locations, but that'll be isolated. As that front moves through, cold air is going to move in right behind it, and then we're going to continue to see that moisture off the Gulf, and we could see some snow flurries across the region. It will be isolated, but it's certainly possible. But the real story is the colder air moving in during the overnight hours into Sunday. we're looking at record territory where many of us will be starting off in the lower 20s. And of course, when you factor in the strong winds, that's going to put our wind chill temperatures in the single digits and the teens. So if you're getting up early Sunday morning, make sure you're bundling up. Layers, great idea. As we take a look at your current conditions now, 47 in Orlando, good morning. 31 in Ocala, Palm Coast, 36, 49 in Titusville, and 50 in Melbourne. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast through today. 52 around 9, 64 around lunch, and then those daytime highs reaching the lower 70s this afternoon. Now for the rest of Central Florida, Leesburg, you'll see a high of 69, Claremont 70, 71 in Orlando, Daytona Beach at 68, and Melbourne a high of 71 today. So clouds and rain forecast, let's talk about it as we go through today. We'll continue to see clouds increase across the region. I'm really not expecting much rain, maybe an isolated shower or two along our coastal spots. But here comes our cold front. Notice the timestamp, we're at 3 a.m. Light showers are expected to develop along that frontal boundary for many of us here across the region. And then as we head into, I would say 11, closer to noon, continuing to see light showers across the area. But then as that front moves through, colder air begins to move in rapidly, continuing to see Gulf moisture move in, and we could see some snow flurries over parts of Sumter, Lake, even Polk counties Saturday evening. So we'll be watching out for that. Roads could be slick, so if you're heading out around that time frame, make sure you're careful. And then looking much drier but colder Sunday morning. So the chance for snow, it's certainly there. Looking at a 5% for Sumter as well as Polk County, and then the coverage going up even higher, getting closer to Tampa there. Freeze watches are in effect for all of Central Florida. As you can see, your wake-up temperature Sunday morning in the 20s, 21 in the Villages, 22 in Leesburg, 24 in Kissimmee, and 21 in Palm Coast, where a hard freeze is likely across the region. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're practicing the P's. Protect plants, pets, pipes, and also people. A rare extreme cold watch in effect Saturday night into Sunday afternoon, where wind chill temperatures will be dangerous in the single digits and teens. So it's going to be very cold as we wake up on Sunday. So I'll leave you here with your 7-day forecast. Today we'll see a high of 71, tonight 50, a high of 58 tomorrow. It's a weather alert day Saturday into Sunday morning. Starting off in the 20s Sunday morning with a high of 46. Also starting off the 20s Monday morning as well. But don't worry, it doesn't last too long. We're back in the 70s on Wednesday.
At least we have something to look forward to. Michelle, we appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at those drive times. 6:51 this morning. The 408 westbound from the 417 to I-4 in the green. 7-minute drive. I-4 eastbound from Osceola Parkway in the Kissimmee area to State Road 50 in downtown, just a 19-minute drive. And then the Turnpike northbound I-4 to I-75, just a 39-minute drive. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Armor View Window and Door. You deserve to hear the best. That's why News 6 is partnered with 105.1. Listen to your News 6 weather updates on Mix 105.1 while we pinpoint your weather on the go. Some teams are just better together.
All right, some personal news to share with you this morning. Today is my last day at News 6. 13 years ago, WKMG gave a 22-year-old kid a shot to be a journalist in his hometown. It changed my life. I owe this station and Graham Media Group so much, professionally, of course, but personally as well. I've done a lot of growing up here, as you can see from this video. None of that happens, though, without the people in this newsroom, my teammates. Thank you so much for your kindness, your advice, your friendship, and the hard work you do every single day. To our viewers, I especially want to thank you, all of you, from hurricanes and the pandemic to Lake Mary Little League's World Series run. We have been through a lot of ups and downs, and we did so together. I worked really hard to earn and keep your trust. I hope that came across in my reporting. As for what's next, I've accepted a role outside of TV. It's a new challenge and one that I'm super excited for. And while the career is changing, the address is not. I'm not moving away. I'm staying right here. So I will see you around Central Florida. Thank you so much for making the last 13 years so special. So appreciate it. And I also want to add that I really encourage people to continue watching my friends do what they do. They care about Central Florida so much. And I know I'll be continuing to be a big fan of News 6. So
we love you. In just a short amount of time I've been here, I'm like, when you told me, I was so upset, but I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
13 incredible years. Everyone loves you. When the email went out in the newsroom, guys, I mean, it was like an audible gasp. So.
Well, I hope that, I treated everyone with kindness.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's all the things you can control.
Yeah,
you can
right.
control your kindness. You can control your work ethic. And I hope I did both of those and more. So tough to leave, but again, I'm really, really excited for the new challenge.
We're excited for you to get some sleep.
That's also going to be a plus. Thank you so much for joining us. We break news on clickorlando.com.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.
You're watching WKMG News 6 Orlando.